Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. Ever feel like you're constantly pouring your energy into relationships, only to find yourself depleted and unappreciated? You're not alone. Today, we're delving into the world of emotional ninjas, those stealthy individuals who wield you like a tool and leave you feeling drained and insignificant. In this episode, we're deciphering the tactics of these users, the ones who view you as a means to an end rather than a genuine companion. From the smooth operators who lavish you with praise before piling on their demands, to the so-called friends who only come calling when they need a favor, we're uncovering the telltale signs of manipulation. These users may be sly, but their methods often follow a predictable pattern. We'll be taking a deep dive into the psychology behind their behavior, unraveling the tangled web of ego, power dynamics, and a blatant disregard for your emotions. Yet, this exploration goes beyond mere survival. It's about fortifying your emotional stronghold. By learning to recognize and repel users, we're empowering you to embrace what you truly deserve: respect, support, and relationships that uplift rather than drain. We're equipping you with the tools to establish healthy boundaries, so you can bid farewell to emotional vampires and bask in the warmth of genuine connections. So, are you ready to reclaim your power and cultivate a life filled with authentic relationships? Join us as we dissect the attitudes of those who only see you as a pawn and emerge ready to foster bonds built on empathy and true camaraderie. Maybe it feels like you're stuck in a never-ending tug-of-war with your partner. You reach across the emotional chasm of the relationship, hand outstretched, hoping to connect. But instead of meeting you halfway, their grip seems perpetually clenched on their own rope, focused solely on pulling their needs towards them. This one-sided dynamic, often called selfishness, can slowly poison a relationship from the inside out. Imagine Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, as a wise old friend offering a lantern to illuminate this imbalance. Stoics believed in living a virtuous life, prioritizing reason and the greater good over fleeting personal desires. In the context of a relationship, this translates to recognizing your partner's well-being as being deeply intertwined with your own. It's a delicate dance, a constant give and take where both partners feel respected, supported, and valued. Now picture your partner in this dance. Instead of graceful steps and shared moments of joy, their actions are more like constant yanks on the rope, taking more than their fair share of attention or resources. You might feel unheard, unimportant, like a mere afterthought in their whirlwind of priorities. This disregard for your feelings chips away at the very foundation of trust and respect that allows a relationship to truly flourish. After all, Stoicism emphasizes recognizing the inherent dignity and autonomy of others as a cornerstone of building strong connections. The issue goes deeper than just inconsideration. Selfishness clashes with Stoic ideals of justice and fairness. Stoicism teaches us to treat everyone with compassion, acknowledging the interconnectedness of humanity. When your partner prioritizes themselves at your expense, it breeds a sense of injustice and resentment. It's like being stuck on an uneven playing field, where their needs are constantly seen as more important than yours. Conversely, living by Stoic virtues, wisdom, justice, and compassion creates an environment where respect and understanding flow freely within the relationship. The consequences of unchecked selfishness extend far beyond the immediate health of the relationship. It hinders personal growth for both individuals. True happiness, according to Stoicism, stems from living a virtuous life, one filled with integrity and a genuine concern for others. This translates to factoring your partner's well-being into your decisions and actions. By striving to embody Stoic values like empathy, fairness, and generosity in your relationship, you cultivate a deeper connection, one that's not just balanced, but deeply fulfilling. It's a relationship built on genuine care and a shared commitment to each other's journey, where both hands reach out, clasp tightly, and pull together in the same direction, moving forward as a team. Remember, even the wisest Stoics face challenges. If you find yourself in this situation, don't be afraid to seek professional help or talk to a trusted friend or family member. It's important to remember that you deserve to be in a healthy, reciprocal relationship. What used to feel like a beautifully choreographed dance, a seamless give and take where your needs and desires meshed perfectly with your partner's, has morphed into something far less graceful. Every conversation feels like a carefully constructed maze, each turn potentially leading you astray. Your partner, once a reliable dance partner, now seems more like a master strategist, employing subtle tactics and veiled persuasion to subtly manipulate situations in their favor. This constant maneuvering leaves you feeling perpetually off balance, unsure of what's real and constantly on guard. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that emphasizes living a virtuous life, sheds light on this dynamic. Stoics valued honesty and integrity above all else, prioritizing actions rooted in reason and moral goodness. When manipulation enters a relationship, it throws a monkey wrench into these core principles. It's like trying to navigate a treacherous mountain path blindfolded. The trust and respect that Stoicism cherishes crumbles under the weight of these tactics. Remember that seemingly innocuous conversation about the weekend getaway? You discussed plans, excited for a shared adventure. But later, a nagging suspicion creeps in. You realize their words were carefully chosen, subtly nudging you towards their preferred activity. You're left feeling like you've been subtly steered, questioning the genuineness of the entire interaction. This is the insidious nature of manipulation. It erodes trust and leaves you constantly second-guessing your own perceptions of reality. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate clear thinking and act with consistency in our values. However, manipulation injects a layer of deceit into the equation, disrupting this clarity and integrity. Open and honest communication, the lifeblood of healthy relationships, becomes a battleground of hidden agendas and veiled motives. The focus shifts from genuine connection to a constant power struggle, leaving the relationship feeling hollow and inauthentic. The consequences of manipulation extend far beyond the erosion of trust and respect. It undermines the very foundation of a healthy relationship, the autonomy of both partners. Stoicism emphasizes recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of others. This includes respecting their freedom to make choices based on genuine understanding, not sly persuasion. Coercion, even in its subtlest forms, violates this principle. A relationship built on manipulation fosters a toxic environment, one that goes against the core Stoic values of honesty and integrity. By prioritizing open and honest communication, rooted in mutual respect and a genuine concern for each other's well-being, individuals can cultivate healthier, more authentic connections. This aligns perfectly with Stoic principles, living a virtuous life with integrity, not just for yourself, but also for the sake of a stronger, more fulfilling relationship. Remember, even the wisest Stoics face challenges in their relationships. If you find yourself in this situation, don't hesitate to seek professional help or talk to a trusted friend or family member. You deserve to be in a healthy, reciprocal relationship where your voice is heard and your well-being is valued. Ever poured your heart out to someone you love, only to be met with a deafening silence or a dismissive response? This lack of empathy, the inability or unwillingness to truly understand and share your feelings, can be the poisonous seed that slowly erodes the foundation of a relationship. Empathy acts as the bridge in healthy relationships, allowing partners to connect on a deeper level and navigate life's challenges together. It fosters a sense of understanding, connection, and a willingness to see things from your partner's perspective. But when empathy is absent, that bridge crumbles, leaving you feeling isolated and unheard. Imagine sharing a deeply personal experience with your partner, expecting a comforting embrace or a listening ear. Instead, their response feels like a cold wind, chilling your vulnerability. They might brush it off with a shrug, change the subject, or worse, make light of your emotions. This constant dismissal leaves you feeling emotionally disconnected, questioning if your needs and feelings even hold weight in the relationship. The consequences of a partner lacking empathy extend far beyond emotional isolation. Without the ability to truly understand your perspective, they might consistently prioritize their own desires, disregarding the impact it has on you. Decisions become one-sided, and your feelings get relegated to an afterthought. This reinforces the notion that you're merely a supporting character in their life, rather than a valued partner with your own dreams and aspirations. Perhaps even more damaging, a lack of empathy can manifest in hurtful or insensitive behavior. Without the capacity to understand the emotional weight of their actions, your partner might act in ways that are callous or dismissive. This emotional neglect can leave you feeling unseen, unheard, and ultimately unimportant. It's a clear sign that their focus isn't on your happiness and well-being, but on their own needs. Ultimately, a relationship devoid of empathy suggests a fundamental imbalance of power and care. Your partner's inability or unwillingness to connect with you on an emotional level highlights their selfishness and creates a dynamic where your needs are consistently disregarded. In such situations, it's crucial to prioritize your own emotional well-being. Seek support from loved ones or a therapist and reassess the relationship. Can this empathy gap be bridged through communication and effort, or is it a chasm too wide to cross? Remember, in a healthy relationship, your feelings deserve to be valued, understood, and reciprocated. You deserve a partner who walks beside you, hand in hand, not someone who leaves you standing alone on the other side of a crumbling bridge. Exploitation in a relationship, where someone takes advantage of your kindness or resources without reciprocating, can have profoundly negative effects on you both emotionally and practically. On an emotional level, being exploited by a partner can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and betrayal. You may find yourself questioning the sincerity of your partner's affection and wondering if they truly care about you or only value what you can provide for them. Over time, this emotional toll can erode your sense of self-worth and lead to a loss of trust in both your partner and yourself. Practically speaking, exploitation can leave you feeling drained and depleted, both financially and energetically. Whether it's constantly lending money, providing emotional support without receiving any in return, or shouldering the majority of household responsibilities, the burden of exploitation can weigh heavily on your shoulders. This imbalance in give and take can lead to burnout and exhaustion, as you struggle to meet your own needs while continuously giving to someone who shows little appreciation or reciprocation. Moreover, being exploited in a relationship can hinder your personal growth and development. When your kindness and generosity are taken for granted, it can stunt your ability to set boundaries and advocate for your own needs. You may find yourself sacrificing your own goals and aspirations to accommodate your partner's demands, leading to feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction in the long run. In addition to these emotional and practical consequences, exploitation can also damage your sense of autonomy and agency within the relationship. When someone consistently takes advantage of your resources or goodwill without giving anything back, it can leave you feeling powerless and trapped in a dynamic where your needs are consistently disregarded. Overall, being exploited by a partner can have far-reaching negative effects on your emotional well-being, personal growth, and sense of autonomy. It's essential to recognize the signs of exploitation in a relationship and take steps to address them, whether through open communication, setting boundaries, or seeking support from loved ones or a therapist. No one deserves to be taken advantage of in a relationship, and prioritizing your own well-being is crucial for maintaining a healthy and fulfilling partnership. When someone in a relationship resorts to deception, whether it's lying or being deceitful to further their own agenda, it's a clear indication that they prioritize their own interests over honesty, trust, and mutual respect. This kind of behavior can reveal a lack of genuine care and investment in the well-being of their partner, signaling that their intentions are more about using the other person for personal gain rather than building a healthy and supportive relationship. One of the key ways we can discern that someone just wants to use us and doesn't truly care about us is through their pattern of deceptive behavior. Deception creates a barrier to open and honest communication, making it difficult to establish trust and authenticity in the relationship. When someone consistently lies or manipulates the truth to serve their own interests, it undermines the foundation of trust upon which healthy relationships are built. Moreover, individuals who engage in deception often prioritize short-term gains or personal gratification over long-term virtues such as integrity, transparency, and emotional intimacy. They may be skilled at crafting elaborate narratives or manipulating situations to suit their agenda, but beneath the surface lies a fundamental lack of respect for their partner's autonomy and dignity. Additionally, deception can lead to feelings of betrayal, insecurity, and emotional distress for the deceived partner. Trust is fragile, and once it's broken, it can be challenging to rebuild. When someone repeatedly demonstrates a disregard for the truth and resorts to deceitful tactics, it creates a toxic dynamic where the deceived partner feels constantly on edge, questioning the authenticity of their partner's words and actions. In general, when someone in a relationship consistently engages in deception, it's a red flag that they may be more interested in using the other person for their own gain rather than fostering a genuine connection based on mutual respect, trust, and empathy. It's important to recognize these signs and address them openly and honestly in the relationship, or consider whether the relationship is truly healthy and fulfilling for both parties involved. A Stoic proverb that resonates deeply with this situation is, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This ancient wisdom emphasizes the importance of maintaining a clear and grounded mind, especially when faced with someone trying to manipulate you. Gaslighting, a form of emotional abuse, thrives on creating doubt and confusion in its target. It's a tactic often employed by toxic people who don't want you to see reality clearly. They want you to question your own thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. Imagine being told you said something you never did, having a cherished memory dismissed as a figment of your imagination, or feeling like you're constantly walking on eggshells because you can't predict how your partner will react. This is the insidious heart of gaslighting. The perpetrator might deny ever making promises they clearly did, or twist your words to fit a narrative that benefits them. Over time, this relentless manipulation can erode your self-confidence and leave you questioning your sanity. Why do people gaslight? The reasons can be complex, but often it's a way to maintain control in a relationship. By making you doubt your own perceptions, they make you easier to manipulate and less likely to challenge their actions. They might be seeking personal gain, trying to avoid responsibility, or simply feeding off the power they wield over your emotional state. How can you protect yourself? The first step is recognizing the signs. Does your partner frequently deny things they said or did? Do they dismiss your feelings or experiences as unimportant or overly sensitive? Do you find yourself constantly questioning your own memory or judgment? If so, it's crucial to trust your gut. Healthy relationships are built on trust and open communication. Don't be afraid to call out gaslighting behavior directly. Express your concerns and seek support from loved ones or a therapist. Remember, you deserve a relationship where your thoughts, feelings, and perceptions are valued and respected. You are not crazy. Gaslighters rely on you questioning your sanity to maintain control. Remember, toxic people are drawn to those with strong inner qualities. Don't let someone manipulate you into doubting what you know to be true. By cultivating self-awareness and trusting your intuition, you can protect yourself from the damaging effects of gaslighting and build healthy, fulfilling relationships. You deserve to be surrounded by people who appreciate the unique perspective you bring to the world, not those who try to dim your light. Your life must be a tapestry woven with threads of trust, respect, and mutual support. But what happens when a thread starts to fray, revealing a pattern of dependency without reciprocity? Imagine a friendship where you're always the shoulder to cry on, yet your own tears go unnoticed. Or perhaps it's a family dynamic where you're constantly relied upon financially, with little to show for your generosity. These one-sided relationships, much like a tapestry with a broken thread, can leave you feeling unbalanced and unsupported. Dependency, when unbalanced, can strain the fabric of any relationship. Picture pouring your energy and resources into someone who seems oblivious to the weight they're placing on your shoulders. It's like carrying a backpack that gets heavier with each passing day, slowly leaving you hunched over and depleted. Spotting someone who exhibits dependency without reciprocity can be tricky. They might be the friend who constantly needs a listening ear but offers a dismissive shrug when you face your own troubles. Maybe it's the family member who relies on you for financial help but never seems to get back on their feet. Their dependence becomes a crutch, hindering their own growth and trapping you in a cycle of giving that leaves you feeling resentful and unseen. This one-sided dynamic breeds imbalance. You may find yourself constantly sacrificing your own needs and aspirations to prop them up, with little regard for your well-being. Over time, this frustration can morph into a deep-seated resentment that poisons the well of the relationship. Healthy relationships thrive on reciprocity, a back and forth where both partners feel supported and valued. What are you thinking about the way you will do to navigate a relationship with someone who leans on you too heavily? It begins with setting boundaries and fostering open communication. Let them know your needs and expectations and encourage them to do the same. Healthy relationships are a two-way street, paved with mutual support and collaboration, not one person carrying the entire load. Nudge them to take ownership of their responsibilities and become an active participant in the relationship's growth. You are not a bottomless well of resources. If attempts to address the imbalance prove futile and the relationship becomes increasingly one-sided, it may be necessary to reassess its viability. You deserve to be in a relationship where both parties contribute equally and support each other's growth and well-being. Don't hesitate to prioritize your own needs and seek connections that uplift and empower you, rather than drain and diminish you. There are people out there who value reciprocity, who understand the art of giving and receiving, and who will walk beside you, not cling to you, on life's journey. Our world thrives on honesty. From the contracts that underpin businesses to the casual conversations that bind friendships, truth is the glue that holds us together. It's no different in love. A healthy relationship is built on a foundation of trust, transparency, and open communication. But what happens when that foundation crumbles under the weight of deception? When a partner resorts to lies or manipulation to further their own agenda, it sends a tremor through the entire relationship, leaving a trail of emotional wreckage in its wake. Deception acts like a slow poison in a relationship. Sharing your deepest thoughts, dreams, and vulnerabilities with your partner should be a safe haven, a space where you can be completely understood and accepted. But when deception enters the equation, that sanctuary transforms into a minefield. Every conversation feels laced with hidden meanings and veiled truths. You can't help but question everything. Were their words genuine expressions of love or meticulously crafted lies? This constant state of suspicion erodes trust at its core, leaving you feeling emotionally isolated from the person you love. People who engage in deception often prioritize short-term gains over the long-term health of the relationship. They might be masters at weaving elaborate stories or spinning situations to their advantage. But beneath the surface lies a fundamental disregard for your well-being and your right to know the truth. This lack of respect can be incredibly damaging. It reduces you from a valued partner to a pawn in their game, leaving you feeling unheard, unseen, and ultimately unimportant. The consequences of deception extend far beyond the initial betrayal. Trust, once broken, is incredibly difficult to repair. When your partner repeatedly lies or withholds the truth, it creates a toxic environment filled with suspicion and insecurity. You find yourself constantly on guard, questioning everything they say and do. This emotional strain can manifest in feelings of anxiety, depression, and a constant state of unease. It's like living with a low-grade fever, a persistent feeling that something isn't right, draining your energy and joy. Ultimately, a partner who consistently deceives you is a partner who may be more interested in using you for their own gain than building a genuine connection. Deception is a glaring red flag that shouldn't be ignored. Open and honest communication is crucial. Talk to your partner, express your concerns, and see if there's a path forward built on trust and respect. But don't forget, please, that you deserve a partner who values honesty and transparency as much as you do. You deserve someone who is willing to walk beside you on a foundation of truth and shared understanding. A healthy relationship allows you to be your most authentic self, safe in the knowledge that you are loved and respected for who you truly are. Don't settle for anything less. If you're building a life with someone you love, only to find the foundation constantly shifting beneath your feet. One moment, you're basking in the warm glow of their affection, showered with compliments and promises of a future together. The next, they've retreated into a cold, distant shell, leaving you wondering what you did wrong and questioning the very reality of your relationship. This is the unsettling dance you find yourself in when your partner possesses multiple, seemingly contradictory personas. Spotting someone with this kind of inconsistency can feel like trying to catch smoke. They're masters of disguise, adeptly changing their behavior to fit the situation. In the beginning, they might be the ultimate charmer, radiating warmth and kindness that draws you in like a moth to a flame. They might be the life of the party, the shoulder to cry on, or the epitome of attentiveness, whatever seems to best suit the moment. But as the relationship deepens, the cracks in the facade begin to show. Here's the key. Watch for the gaps between their words and actions. Inconsistency often reveals itself through subtle, yet persistent patterns. Do their grand gestures of affection fade as quickly as they appear? Do their promises of commitment morph into excuses and justifications? Notice these discrepancies, because they can be the first whispers of a deeper issue. The inconsistency doesn't stop at your doorstep. Look beyond your immediate relationship and observe how they interact with others in their social circle. Do they maintain a consistent demeanor across various settings? Or do they exhibit similar shifts in behavior with friends, family, or even strangers? This broader perspective offers valuable insight into their character. Is their erratic behavior a pervasive pattern in their life, or is it specific to your dynamic? Perhaps they're simply uncomfortable with intimacy, or maybe they struggle with a deeper psychological issue. Whatever the reason, their inconsistency creates an environment of uncertainty and distrust. You find yourself walking on eggshells, constantly wondering which version of your partner you'll encounter next. Protecting yourself from this emotional roller coaster requires setting firm boundaries from the very beginning. Don't be afraid to express your need for consistency and emotional stability in a relationship. Prioritize open and honest communication. These conversations are crucial for navigating any relationship challenge, but especially so when dealing with a partner who seems to operate on shifting sands. Trust your gut. That feeling of unease when things don't quite add up is often your intuition trying to warn you. A healthy relationship thrives on predictability and reliability, not a constant state of guessing games. Don't settle for a partner who can't offer you emotional stability and genuine connection. You deserve a partner who is who they say they are, not a mystery waiting to be unraveled. A relationship should be a safe haven, a place where you can be your authentic self and feel loved and accepted for who you are. Don't be afraid to walk away from a situation that leaves you feeling confused and emotionally drained. There is someone out there who can offer you the consistency and emotional security you deserve. Remember, in a healthy relationship, love shouldn't feel like a game of chance, but a journey you embark on together, hand in hand, with a clear path forward. Love as a vibrant garden, flourishing with all the colors and fragrances of genuine affection. Now imagine that garden being nurtured only when it serves a purpose, blooming magnificently when you achieve something the other person desires, and withering away the moment your needs take center stage. This, unfortunately, is the reality of conditional affection. It's a confusing dance that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew about love. The motivations behind conditional affection can be as diverse as the people who display it. At its core, though, it often stems from a deep-seated selfishness. These individuals see affection as a tool for manipulation, a way to control or exploit others for their own gain. They dole out love strategically, like a reward for good behavior, leaving you feeling like a performing poodle jumping through hoops for a pat on the head. The consequences of conditional affection are far-reaching. It breeds a potent cocktail of insecurity and mistrust. You're constantly second-guessing yourself, wondering if their affection is genuine or simply a strategic ploy. This constant state of questioning erodes the foundation of trust, leaving you feeling emotionally isolated and undervalued. A relationship should be a safe haven, a place where you can be your authentic self and feel loved unconditionally. Conditional affection turns that haven into a minefield, where every step feels fraught with danger. In your opinion, how do you protect yourself from the emotional roller coaster of conditional affection? The first step is developing a healthy sense of self-worth. Recognize that you deserve love that is freely given and reciprocated, not dangled like a carrot on a stick. Learn to identify the signs. Does their affection fluctuate with your achievements or mood swings? Do you feel pressured to constantly please them for fear of losing their love? One more time, don't forget that communication is key. Express your needs and expectations in a relationship. If attempts to address the imbalance prove futile, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship's viability. Don't settle for a love that feels like a conditional loan with ever-mounting interest. There are people out there who will love you for who you are, not what you can do for them. Seek relationships that nourish your spirit and cultivate a garden of love that blooms vibrantly all year round. Life throws enough curveballs our way, but it's especially tough when someone close to you consistently undercuts your achievements and throws shade on your ideas. Imagine pouring your heart and soul into a project, only to have your excited explanation met with a dismissive scoff or a backhanded compliment. This kind of behavior, known as undermining, is more than just a mood killer. It's a subtle form of emotional manipulation that chips away at your self-esteem and keeps you feeling small. The reasons behind undermining can be as tangled as a teenager's headphones. Sometimes, it stems from a place of insecurity. Maybe the person feels threatened by your success, or perhaps they lack the confidence to pursue their own goals, so they try to dim your light to make theirs seem brighter. In other cases, it's a power play. By dismissing your accomplishments or opinions, they're trying to establish dominance in the relationship, keeping you in a position where you constantly seek their approval. It's like a game where they get to be the star player, and you're relegated to the bench, cheering them on while they steal your thunder. The effects of being undermined can be insidious and long-lasting. Imagine constantly hearing negative feedback, even for your victories. Over time, it starts to chip away at your confidence, leaving you questioning your abilities and doubting your own judgment. You might find yourself hesitating to share your ideas, fearing ridicule, or even start believing the negative narratives they weave around you. This can lead to a toxic cocktail of resentment, frustration, and even depression as you struggle to maintain a sense of self-worth in the face of constant negativity. On top of that, Undermining creates a power imbalance in the relationship. It becomes a one-way street where their achievements are celebrated and yours are downplayed. Your voice is silenced, your opinions dismissed, all to prop up their ego. Essentially, you become a supporting character in their personal drama, there to bolster their sense of superiority. By the way, how do you protect yourself from this emotional erosion? The first step is recognizing the signs. Are you constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to express yourself for fear of their negativity? Do their compliments come with barbed wire attached? Once you identify the pattern, trust your gut and assert your worth. Don't let them belittle you or dismiss your ideas. Remember, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and encouragement, not tearing each other down. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your victories, big and small, and who believe in your potential. You deserve to be in a space where your voice is heard, your goals are supported, and your accomplishments are cheered on, not undermined. Remember, true friends don't steal your shine. They help you light up the whole damn room. Dealing with someone who leans on passive-aggressive tactics can be incredibly frustrating. Forget about dramatic outbursts or slamming doors. They prefer to cloak their hostility in sarcasm, retreat into silence when things get heated, or feign indifference to mask their disapproval. The problem with this indirect approach? It muddles the real issue, making it incredibly challenging to have a productive conversation and actually address the root of the problem. Trying to understand the motivations behind passive-aggressive behavior is like trying to untangle a knotted ball of yarn. It often stems from a deep-seated fear of confrontation or a strong desire to avoid conflict at all costs. Instead of addressing issues directly, these individuals resort to covert tactics as a way to maintain control or manipulate the situation to their advantage. It's like they're playing a game where they can vent their frustrations without ever actually acknowledging that they're upset, leaving you to decipher their hidden meanings. Unfortunately, this strategy only widens the gap between you and deepens the well of mistrust. The consequences of passive-aggressive behavior are like a slow poison, seeping into every aspect of the relationship. Genuine communication gets stifled, replaced by a constant undercurrent of tension and unresolved issues simmering beneath the surface. Over time, this can leave you feeling frustrated, resentful, and isolated as you struggle to decode the hidden messages behind their words and actions. The very foundation of trust and intimacy starts to crumble, making it difficult to truly connect and understand each other. So, how do you navigate this tricky terrain of passive-aggressive behavior? The key is to address the issue head-on. Encourage open and honest communication, expressing your concerns calmly and assertively. Set clear boundaries and make it known that you value transparency and directness when it comes to resolving conflicts. By tackling the underlying issues and fostering a culture of open communication, you can begin to mitigate the negative effects of passive-aggressiveness and build a relationship grounded in trust, respect, and a willingness to tackle problems together, rather than hiding behind veiled hostility. Picture this scenario. You've meticulously crafted a life brimming with healthy boundaries and a robust sense of self-worth. Then, like an unwelcome gust of wind, someone saunters in with an egregiously inflated sense of entitlement, treating you as if you're merely a vending machine doling out favors at their beck and call. This isn't just a glitch in the system. It's a living, breathing individual who perceives the world through a distorted lens, where their desires reign supreme and your well-being is relegated to the shadows. These encounters can prove incredibly draining, leaving you grappling with a profound sense of disorientation and questioning the very fabric of your reality. The tactics employed by these entitled individuals are as diverse as a bargain bin assortment of sweets. They might attempt to guilt-trip you with melodramatic tales of woe, wield emotional manipulation like a finely honed weapon to tug at your heartstrings, or resort to passive-aggressive jabs when their demands aren't swiftly met. At the heart of their behavior lies a fundamental misconception of reciprocity. They firmly believe that the world owes them something, and all too often, that something comes at your expense. So, how does one navigate this treacherous emotional terrain without risking being trampled underfoot? The timeless wisdom of the Stoics serves as a beacon in the darkness. They implore us to focus our attention on that which lies within our control: our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. While we may not possess the power to alter the entitled person's perspective, we retain full agency over how we choose to respond. Setting boundaries becomes your emotional armor in this battle. Clearly articulate your limits and wield the word "no" with unapologetic conviction. Remember, prioritizing your own mental and emotional well-being isn't an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-preservation. By steadfastly holding fast to your boundaries, you chip away at the stranglehold that entitled individuals seek to impose upon you. In the end, the true power resides in your response. Opting to react with frustration or fury merely serves to fan the flames of discord. Instead, endeavor to cultivate a sense of inner tranquility and resilience. The Stoics offer us a poignant reminder: the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Refuse to descend to their level. Respond with a tranquil yet assertive demeanor, all the while steadfastly prioritizing your own well-being and refusing to be swayed by their manipulative tactics. Remember, you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, and by standing your ground, you can navigate these turbulent waters with unwavering clarity and inner fortitude. We love to believe in the inherent goodness of people, but sometimes life throws us a curveball in the form of individuals who seem allergic to taking responsibility. These are the folks who view others solely as tools to advance their own interests, navigating through life with a moral compass that points only to their own desires. Dealing with them can feel like attempting to corral a group of unruly cats, a futile and frustrating endeavor that often leaves us feeling drained and disheartened. This behavior often stems from a profound lack of empathy. These individuals struggle to see beyond their own needs and desires, unable to comprehend the impact of their actions on those around them. To them, responsibility is a foreign concept, and the idea of considering the well-being of others is simply inconceivable. And then, how do we navigate this emotional minefield without losing ourselves in the process? The first step is recognizing the warning signs. Are we constantly left to clean up their messes, both figuratively and literally? Do they conveniently forget their share of the responsibility, leaving us to shoulder the burden? If so, it's time to draw a line in the sand and establish clear boundaries. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls. It's about safeguarding our emotional well-being. Learning to assert ourselves and say no with confidence is essential. We mustn't be afraid to walk away from situations that drain our energy and diminish our sense of self-worth. Prioritizing our own needs isn't selfish. It's a necessary act of self-preservation. While it may be tempting to try and change these individuals, it's important to recognize that we can't control their behavior. What we can control, however, is our own response. Rather than expending our energy on fruitless attempts to fix them, we can focus on cultivating our own resilience. Surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals who value responsibility and treat us with respect can provide invaluable support. Investing our time and energy in relationships that are mutually fulfilling and empowering is key to maintaining our sense of self-worth and inner peace. In the messy tangle of human connection, we all bump into people who are, well, emotional ninjas. They're masters at playing our feelings like a fiddle, weaving guilt trips and sneaky pressure into every conversation to get what they want. From a Stoic point of view, this kind of behavior is a giant middle finger to things like honesty and being a good person, not to mention a total disregard for how the other person feels. Stoicism is all about building up your inner strength to weather any storm life throws your way. But emotional manipulators? They love a good storm. They sniff out your weak spots and exploit them, using your kindness and empathy against you like a weapon in their quest for control. It's like they're taking your good qualities and turning them into chains to bind you. The key to spotting these emotional ninjas is to sharpen your senses for the little things, the patterns in their behavior. They might be guilt trip artists, throwing past favors or sacrifices in your face to get you to do what they want. Or maybe they're masters of emotional blackmail, making you feel like you owe them something if you don't bend to their will. And let's not forget the amazing ability some manipulators have to dodge any responsibility for their actions. They're like magicians, deflecting blame with smoke and mirrors, or even using gaslighting to make you question your own sanity. They love to stir up confusion, making it hard to tell what's real and what's their manipulative fog. So, how do we fight back against these emotional ninjas, all stoic-like? By holding on to what's true, being honest with ourselves and others, and most importantly, respecting ourselves. We need to learn to recognize our limits and say no with a backbone of steel, no matter how loud the emotional tantrum gets on the other side. By prioritizing our own well-being and refusing to budge on our principles, we can navigate these tricky situations with our heads held high, our self-respect intact, and a whole lot of inner strength. One of the most famous stories from Stoic philosophy that touches upon the theme of dealing with people who use and don't genuinely care about you is the tale of the philosopher Diogenes and the young man who sought his company. Diogenes was a renowned Cynic philosopher who lived a simple and ascetic life, eschewing material possessions and societal conventions. One day, a wealthy young man approached Diogenes, impressed by his wisdom and seeking to become his disciple. The young man expressed his admiration for Diogenes and declared his desire to learn from him. However, Diogenes, known for his unconventional ways and sharp wit, immediately saw through the young man's superficial intentions. He responded by saying, "Stand out of my sunlight," indicating that the young man was blocking the sun from reaching him. The young man, taken aback by Diogenes' blunt dismissal, persisted in his request, insisting that he was sincere in his desire to learn from the philosopher. But Diogenes remained unmoved, recognizing that the young man was more interested in the status of being associated with a famous philosopher rather than genuinely seeking wisdom. Diogenes' response illustrates the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control and not allowing ourselves to be swayed by the superficial motives of others. He prioritized his own peace of mind and integrity over the fleeting admiration of someone who only sought to use him for personal gain. This story serves as a reminder to cultivate self-awareness and discernment in our relationships, recognizing when others may not have our best interests at heart and choosing to prioritize authenticity and virtue in our interactions. Or, we will give you another story about this subject. Cato the Younger, a prominent Roman statesman and Stoic philosopher, was known for his unwavering commitment to principles of justice and honesty. One day, Cato was approached by a former friend named Aulus Gabinius, who sought his assistance in a dubious business venture. Aulus, aware of Cato's reputation for integrity, hoped to exploit their past relationship to gain Cato's support for his scheme. He painted a rosy picture of the venture's profitability and promised Cato significant financial gain if he agreed to participate. Despite the allure of potential riches, Cato remained steadfast in his commitment to virtue. He saw through Aulus's deceitful intentions and recognized the moral bankruptcy of the proposed venture. With characteristic Stoic clarity and moral fortitude, Cato firmly declined Aulus's offer, refusing to compromise his principles for personal gain. Enraged by Cato's refusal, Aulus resorted to slander and manipulation in an attempt to tarnish Cato's reputation and undermine his influence. However, Cato remained undeterred, maintaining his composure and refusing to engage in petty retaliation. Instead, Cato focused on living in accordance with his Stoic beliefs, embracing adversity as an opportunity for moral growth and resilience. He continued to uphold his principles in the face of adversity, inspiring admiration and respect from those who witnessed his unwavering commitment to virtue. Ultimately, Cato's integrity and moral courage earned him lasting renown as a paragon of Stoic virtue. His example serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of staying true to one's principles, even in the face of temptation and adversity. This story encapsulates the Stoic ideal of living a life guided by reason, virtue, and moral integrity, regardless of external circumstances or the actions of others. It underscores the importance of cultivating inner strength and resilience in the pursuit of a life well lived. As we wrap up our journey into the attitudes of those who only use you, remember this: you are worthy of genuine connections that honor your worth and uplift your spirit. By arming yourself with the knowledge to identify and navigate manipulative relationships, you're taking a crucial step towards reclaiming your agency and fostering a life filled with authenticity and empathy. It's time to bid farewell to the role of the perpetual doormat and embrace your role as the architect of your own emotional landscape. Set your boundaries firmly, surround yourself with individuals who value you for who you are, and don't hesitate to let go of those who seek to exploit your kindness. As you embark on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, know that you are not alone. Together, we can create a world where genuine connections flourish and where each of us is valued for the unique contributions we bring to the table. So go forth with confidence, knowing that you deserve nothing less than relationships that enrich your life and nourish your soul. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening expedition, and may your path be filled with love, understanding, and true friendship. Until next time, take care and stay empowered.